Hey, welcome back to Proverbs of Praise. So excited that you guys are here today. I wanted to share with you guys just an experience, an encounter that I had with God recently. So a few weeks ago, I went on vacation and God had showed me this dream. In this dream, I was pregnant. And so I was pregnant with a boy, which for those of you who personally know me, I'm a girly girl. I love to dress up and do fun things like that. And so I always told God, if he wants to bless my husband with a boy, like, great, Lord. But, at least give me my one girl, Jesus. Come on, Lord. So I was pregnant with a boy, and I was just so happy. I was so excited. I had so much joy. It didn't matter to me that it was a boy or a girl. It was just a healthy baby, but I knew it was a boy. And so I knew I was probably 7 or 8 months pregnant, and I was getting close. I believe the last thing I remember seeing in the dream was me in the hospital. A doctor's, not hospital, doctor's visit, probably the last doctor's visit before I was going to have the baby. And so I was super excited, but it ended with me not being able to hold my baby. I was close, like I said, to having him, but I wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't ready. And so I remember the dream ending. And so in that, God just really showed me, first of all, that he's trusting me with something, that he's birthing and growing something inside of me, and that it's not quite there yet, that I'm on the road. I'm 7, I'm 8 months, I'm almost there. I'm in my 3rd trimester, but I'm not there yet. And so first of all, that just showed me God's grace. Like, he loves me enough to make sure that I do not have a premature birth, that I don't birth something when I'm not ready yet. I'm not fully prepared. I haven't done all that I need to do. My purpose, my growth hasn't fully developed. So first, I knew God showed me that you're not quite ready yet, but I love you enough to show you what I have for you. And it just made me excited about the future. And so recently, about a week ago, I was feeling really just frustrated, really just tired. So I took some time away, took a break, and went to church with my friend. And so I remember going into church, and when you like not feeling God at the moment, and you're like, Jesus, okay, what you about to say? Because like me and you, it ain't okay right now. And so I was having one of those moments, and I remember just saying like, okay, Lord, what you gonna say to me in this service? So the pastor's message that day was Proverbs 18:21. The verse just says that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And the pastor was just really actually spoke to me exactly what I need to hear, talking about how God can renew your mind, But I remember one of the key things that he said, if you don't speak it, you can't receive it. But if you just because you speak it doesn't mean you're going to receive it. So basically saying that if you don't speak life into something, you cannot receive it. But just because you said, man, I'm going to get that car right there, doesn't mean that God's going to bring it to you. But if you continue to speak life into something, a vision, a goal that God has given you, then it will bring life to that goal, to that vision. It doesn't mean by magic that something is going to appear, but it does mean that you will begin to speak life into that goal, that vision, that dream, that purpose that God has given you. And so he was just really talking also about renewing your minds. You can ask God. God is still a God of yesterday, tomorrow, and forevermore. So he's a God that can work miracles and can renew your minds. So I remember believing that day, Lord, you're going to renew my mind. And actually, in that moment, I began to have really, really strong menstrual cramps. And I said, okay, God, if you're the God of miracles, right? You're the God of yesterday, tomorrow, and forevermore. Lord, I'm going to test you. If you said that you can perform a miracle in my mind, I believe that, God, you can perform a miracle in my mind and renew my mind, give me new hope and new joy. As I put my hand on my womb, I begin to pray, Lord, this is my test for you now. Lord, take these cramps away from me now. Take them so that it'll be a sign of what you will do in the future with my mind. And so God actually told me, Taylor, do you know that those cramps are a sign that life can be produced out of you? Literally, that I can grow something inside of you. That while you may feel pain right now, that ultimately, in due season, that'll be a time for you to be able to give birth to something. And God said, if I take that away from you, you won't be able to birth anything out of you. You won't be able to grow anything inside of you. And God just showed me that the same is true right now in my life. That right now, he said, Taylor, I already told you that you're pregnant. I already told you you're 7 or 8 months, you're in your 3rd trimester. You're so close. You're so close. And right now, the things that you're experiencing in life, those are the birthing pains. Those are the birthing pains that you're going to have to experience to push out of you this purpose that's inside of you. I've impregnated you with my vision, and right now it hurts. It's painful, man. You're going through those Braxton Hicks contractions, or you're experiencing that, but I'm putting things together, and God just began to really minister to me. And as I looked into the third trimester, that's the time that the baby really is stretching. Man, your womb is so tight because the baby has no other place to go. The third trimester is where the cartilage begins to turn into bone. So literally bones are forming, like literally bones are forming. The third trimester is where the skin is no longer translucent, that it begins to form. And so everything is coming together, right? It's meshing together. And God just began to show me that the same is happening in your life. You can't see the end from the beginning. I want to encourage you today. You can't see the end from the beginning. Man, if you're in a season right now where you're feeling the birthing pains, where it's painful, where it's hurting, know that on the other side is joy. On the other side is purpose. It's funny because when I look back at that dream, the boy is not something that I would have conjured up on my own. It's not something that I would have asked God for, but I had so much joy even in that season. And so God just began to remind me that, man, even though it's not what you thought it would be, it's still going to produce so much joy in your life. Maybe your situation doesn't look like you thought it should at this moment. Maybe God has given you a promise or vision and you cannot see at all how it would form, how it's going to come to pass. But know that in the end, because God is the one who gave it to you, He will allow it to come to us. God kind of revealing to you what He wants you to do. What does your vision look like? If you're willing to share, we'd love to hear from you guys. Bye.